Sure.
Welcome to Growth and Inspire, where we examine topics that make us feel inspired and grow. I'm your host, Bonnie Yam, and we'll be posting frequently on topics to help you run your business better. It can be issues involving new regulations, taxes, planning for business growth, or how to run your business more efficiently. Whether you're an individual or C-suite member of a company, this podcast is for you. We hope to bring you insights and discussion points, drill down on complexity to make it simple. Join us on this journey, and we will have a lot of interesting guests, such as business evaluators, insurance experts, tax, and finance professionals. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review if you enjoy what you hear. Now, let us get started with today's episode. Today, our topic is IRS tax resolution, and our speaker is Michael Sullivan.
Hey, Bonnie, thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
Yes, hello, Michael. So happy to have you on our podcast. Before we start, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your company?
Yeah, my company is MD Sullivan LLC. I started my life as a IRS agent. It was the first job I had. I worked there for 10 years. I used to work the offer and compromise program, the settlement. I actually accepted and denied offers and compromise. I worked narcotic trafficking. I've worked about thousands of cases, and after 10 years, I decided to go on my own. So I've been in private practice, actually working in tax defense for any type of person that has an IRS problem. And I have a whole team of former IRS agents, CPAs, and attorneys. And yeah, that's my practice. I have a very big YouTube station. I have over a million people have watched my videos, and I have a very big social media presence at Facebook. I have about 5,000 professional followers on my Facebook page.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you so much. Maybe let's just talk a little bit about tax resolution companies. Why should we be careful about the tax resolution companies outside?
That's a really good question, Bonnie. By the way, thank you for having me. I appreciate being on your show. I really do. I know your show is very thoughtful who you have, so it's an honor actually to be on your show. You know, when I was at IRS, there was no such thing as a tax resolution company; it just didn't exist. And then as we got into social media and as it progressed and as it grew, outpourings of people on TV said, "Hey, I can resolve your IRS problem." It's about 20 years ago, and today it's more so. Oh my God, there's companies everywhere. They track you. You owe IRS debts. You file federal tax liens. It's become a very, very big company, and the reason it is that there's a lot of big dollars involved in tax resolution.
Yep.
But with that brings a bunch of 95% people that are scammers. It's not that they can't do the work, they don't know how to do the work. And when you call these people, what you wind up doing is you talk to a salesperson in the very beginning. And these salespeople are very skilled in telling you what you want to know. They know what your buzzwords are. I know this because I get about 4 or 5 calls a week on people who have been scammed. One of the companies begins with O. I'm not going to mention their name, but I get a lot of calls on that. They've lost thousands of dollars. Their cases are not settled. So to everyone, I tell you, you should hire a person, not a company. Why do you hire a person? You have no idea in the company who's working your case. And if you're hiring these big box companies that you see all these ads, they spend most of their money on the salespeople, and the other big portion goes to ads. They spend about, I don't know, about $250,000 a month on ads, and actually and then the company takes a big cut. Believe it or not, the person working in the back end doesn't have a lot of experience. If they did, they wouldn't be working at that company. As a result of that market structure and what they do, most of these companies that you see advertise a lot, they are the weakest company to go ahead and resolve your problem. And there's a really advantage when you hire a person. I'm not telling you, I have tax attorneys and CPAs on my side. If you have an IRS problem, you hire a former IRS agent. Tax attorneys are good for litigation. They know that. CPAs are good for financial planning. When you have an IRS problem, it only makes sense. For myself, I've done this for 10 years, so I was the IRS. So the information they get
on the other side, you know exactly what happened.
Yes.
Well, thank you, thank you. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful advice for a lot of people who've never been in this field before. You don't want to get scammed. You know, you already got hit by you got this horrible letter from IRS. The next thing you get scammed. So 2 hits, that's pretty bad. So, how about let's talk about like what are the typical tax issues people are seeking to resolve?
Yeah, you know, the number one thing, there's so much advertising in the you can settle your tax space, offer and compromise, tax debt settlement ads. This company, I owed 50,000, now I only owe 100. Only 13,000 cases last year got accepted for the offer and compromise. That's it.
Oh my God,
13,000.
yeah.
All these statistics are all available at irs.gov. It's not me making up numbers. And the reason is people are buying into these false ads. So when people think, oh my God, I have a debt, I can settle, I'll call this company, they're advertising and it must be good. And then they fall into the real scam. The truth is, most of these people cannot settle. Remember, I worked this program. It's called the Offer and Compromise. I worked that program at IRS. So as a result, today, even though I'm on the outside, people send me, after they've been scammed, the financial statements they turned in, and there was no way these cases. You have to have your case evaluated for free. You have to have somebody look at it, and that person should specifically be able to tell you whether you can even settle your tax debt. Yeah,
that's why you need a professional, a real professional.
Exactly.
All right, wonderful. You know, I bet a lot of people don't know about this. Yeah. So can you explain the IRS Settlement Program?
Yeah, it's called the Offer and Compromise, and I hate to be repetitive. I've worked that. So IRS, what you do is you turn in a financial statement to IRS. If you have an open IRS collection case, this is how IRS works your case. They always need a financial statement, and it's got to be verified. With that financial statement, IRS is going to close your case in one of three, is that three verticals. That's not 6, 3 verticals. They're either going to, based on your financial statement documented, that means you're going to give them bank statements and checks where your money's going. They're either going to put you into a current hardship, which lasts there a couple years, a payment agreement, or you're eligible to settle your debt for pennies on a dollar through the offer. But that's where you have to be very careful. IRS actually has a tool. It's the Offer and Compromise tool, which you can Google. It's put out. It's called the Pre-Qualifier tool. It gives you an idea. But if you were to send me your financial statement, I can generally tell you in 15 seconds or less what IRS is going to do with your case. Yeah, I've looked at over 10,000 of these. So yeah, that's how that works. Good question.
Yeah, thank you so much. So how about how does tax audit work?
Oh man, you know, the number one I get, there's two questions. Yes, great questions. These are the two questions people always ask me. Can I settle my debt? And how do I get pulled for an IRS audit? Well, you know, there's a big wake-up call for people to understand what this is. And that's the advantage to knowing somebody who works on the inside at IRS. The computer audits your return. People don't audit your return. The computer does. By the way, when you get your tax refund, there's 347 filters the IRS uses before they send you a refund. There's been so much fraud in this area. It started out with only 21. Today, there's 347. IRS published a report that so before you get your refund, IRS's algorithms scan, is this the right person? Have they lived there? Who are they? So boom. So the same is true for IRS audits. Our algorithm scans all the returns, every single return, and it comes out with an algorithm number. And what they do is, let's say you make $100,000 a year. They're comparing your return with everyone's tax return, but they usually look at that more in your region to make sure it's kind of more consistent. IRS knows where they made mistakes because every year they're updating their filters. So if they see more flags pop up after they've looked at the national average and looked at your return
Makes a lot
and
of
drilled
sense.
down on where you lived and how much you made,
Makes a lot of
it
sense.
knows what the average norms are. So
Right.
flags pop up. That a flag doesn't mean you're
Makes a
going to get
lot, yes,
audited.
but it makes a
But
lot of sense.
yeah, the more flags pop up, IRS says, "Whoa,
Either you're too
we
smart
better
for me or you did
look."
something.
That's right. Oh, we better look at this tax. And every year after they do that, they keep sending the information back and back, so they keep getting a better algorithm to be more because
Some
IRS,
updated.
yeah, IRS wants to go after low hanging fruit. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, like you got money and you're like trying to scam me, right?
Yes.
I want
Yeah.
to want my
Yeah.
money back. It's my
Yes.
money.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I'm pleased to partner up with you. I'm one of the
Thank you.
people, Bonnie and I work together, and
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
got a nice tax practice. So if you're having any IRS problems, you
Yes.
should
Definitely.
contact
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie, and she can
Thank
at
you so
least
much. Yes. Yeah.
review
Yeah.
that,
We
and
work
then
with
we go forward.
like
And
an expert.
I want to tell you one other thing. We do not take a case, and I want to make this really clear. I've been in tax defense since 1982 because I worked for IRS 10, and I've never had a complaint. And when Bonnie and I became associates for the IRS resolution practice, we bring that. We do not take a case, Bonnie and myself, unless we can help somebody. Because as soon as I see the case with Bonnie's help, we can collaborate.
Mhm.
Just will tell you we have
Yes.
enough work, right, Bonnie?
Yes.
Between us, we just don't take cases, and we
Absolutely.
know exactly what's going to happen. It's not a fishing game for us, right, Bonnie? You want to say how
It's
we
worth it.
we
Yeah.
keep a standard only to help people that
Of
need our
course.
help.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we should do the right thing, not make a quick buck and it doesn't make sense, just for you should
Right.
help.
Bonnie, let me ask you a question. So, because
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be sharing this video with everyone that I know, let everybody know on my audience, let them tell everybody about you, if you would, for me, so they know who you are.
Okay, sure. Like I own a tax practice in Belmore, New York, and of course we file taxes. And we do get people calling in once in a while to ask us about taxes. And just recently, actually just today, somebody that we worked on in a tax resolution case, he worked for with another. I'm not going to tell you who, but he forgot to report Social Security income for 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Anyway, so he got like a big bill that he has to pay, and then we need to figure out how we're going to settle it. And the IRS, what they did is like they lump all the extra income in 1 year. Of course, so all of a sudden you're going to pay a lot more. But what we did is we go back 3 or 4 years and we reallocate the income into the right year. So total tax that we pay that he finally has to pay is a lot less. So we are both happy, but it takes some work. It's not a little work. First of all, you figure out what's going on, how can you resolve it, and figure out a way that can best help you resolve it. And then guess what? He got another letter. This time from state. After you resolve the IRS, it says that what about my portion?
Yeah, and by the way, Bonnie, that's an interesting point, that there's reciprocity that goes on between both, back and forth, back and forth. So if something comes to IRS, they automatically report it to New York, and New York reports it. That's the process called reciprocity. So it's both flowers are gonna pop up at different times.
And it's very, very interesting because I have to say is that because how you look at state tax and IRS tax level, they're different because how you look at the credits. State, if it's a Social Security income for New York State only, maybe for other state, I don't know, it's deductible, but not on the IRS level. Okay, federal level,
Right.
no. State, U.S. state, New York State level, yes. So we figure out, and then we look at it. Well, after we did the taxes, we shouldn't have to pay any New York State tax, additional New York State tax. And then we look at the tax credits. But some of the tax credit doesn't use New York State income tax.
Yeah, that's right.
It's yes, federal tax. So all of a sudden it's yes, you were able to lower some of the tax, but not 100%. So
Yeah,
you
and by the
talk
way,
to
we
a professional.
we do work all over the United States. It's not limited to
Yeah.
state problems. It's not an issue. We have a whole team that works together. We have someone who worked in the IRS Audit Division, the Appeals Division, Tax Court Liaison, revenue officers, revenue agents. We have an entire team that we bring together. So no matter what, we kind of have a marketplace. Anytime you have an IRS problem, we have usually a person who usually has no less than 33 years with the IRS working on every case. So we've been teaming up with Bonnie, and she's a great resource. And you know, we even deal with New Yorkers, correct, Bonnie? When yes,
I'm just saying that, you know, you do need to talk to a professional. I understand how
yeah, New Yorkers are tougher clients. You know, sometimes they have that New Yorker attitude. So I just gotta calm them down. But Bonnie, I appreciate very much being on your show. I know you do good quality. The reason we've hooked up is we both do the same quality work. And when you find a partner, an associate, you want to make sure they have a gold standard. And I know for you listening to this, I'm telling you, I've been doing this 51 years. Miss Bonnie here has, yeah, I have. I worked for IRS 10. I'm only 26, but I just want to tell you that Bonnie has a gold standard in everything.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for.
Wait, I want to end with this though. I want to end with this quote. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine graciously upon you. May he give you wisdom and heavenly peace. So if you have any questions, leave us a review, you know, call us, give us a comment, and let us know how we can improve our content. And thank you very much for joining us today. And stay inspired. Continue to learn. Thank you.
And that verse was number 624 through 26.
Thank you.
That was the ironic blessing that Aaron gave Israel. I just wanted you to know that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You got such a vivacious smile. I wished I had your smile. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be on your show today.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.